Unpacking the Buddha's First Discourse. Episode 16. The Brahma World Quaked. First, what do we even mean by unpacking? We can define unpacking as the intense scrutiny of traditional Buddhist and Zen texts, a scrutiny that often breaks down the text sentence by sentence, phrase by phrase, and occasionally word by word. And why even unpack at all? Because not all of us have the opportunity to regularly engage with a living, breathing, enlightened teacher. Understanding that in the Zen tradition, it's this engagement that substitutes for the critical reading of the traditional texts. And so for those who don't have the opportunity to regularly engage with a living teacher, there must be a return to the traditional texts as teacher. And with that return is the understanding that the texts are best approached as sequences of riddles, or perhaps as sequences of landmines. And these riddles must be reconciled, these landmines cleared, if we are to truly make progress. Let's continue. Consider the following text excerpted from the Sutta, setting in motion the wheel of the Dhamma. Thus at that moment, at that instant, at that second, the cry spread as far as the Brahma world, and this 10,000-fold world system shook, quaked, and trembled, and an immeasurable glorious radiance appeared in the world, surpassing the divine majesty of the devas. And in aiding in the unpacking of this brief excerpt, we might consider a handful of questions. First, what is the significance of the cry spreading as far as the Brahma world? And how might this reflect the scope or universality of the Buddha's teaching? Next, why does the text emphasize at that moment, at that instant, at that second? What might this suggest about the immediacy of realization or transformation in Buddhist practice? How should we understand the imagery of the 10,000-fold world system shaking, quaking, and trembling? Literal cosmic event, symbolic metaphor, or both? In what way does the immeasurable glorious radiance surpassing the devas highlight the distinction between the Buddha's awakening and traditional divine power? And finally, how might the combined imagery of sound, cry, movement, shaking, and light, radiance, be interpreted as expressing the multidimensional impact of the Buddha's first discourse? And so, we're now into the meat of Buddha's first discourse. More to come.